Hey, what's up, fight fans? In today's video, we've got some wild stories to break down. Rampage Jackson revealed that after the incident involving his son Raja and Psycho Stu, he's been receiving death threats from a lot of racist people. He said straight up, "Your son can be disrespecting our show." The world exploded with reactions. Almost every big name has condemned Raja Jackson's brutal moves, while Raja himself doesn't even seem to realize the mess he's in, refusing to admit any guilt, blaming it all on the goddamn cameraman's fault. And as for Ilia Topuria, the UFC buzz is back, with Paddy Pimblett's name being thrown into the mix again. The MMA and pro wrestling worlds are still in shock after one of the wildest incidents in recent memory. What started as just another indie wrestling show in Los Angeles has now turned into a full-blown international scandal. Raja Jackson, the son of UFC legend Quentin Rampage Jackson, wanted to build his own name. Instead, he's now infamous and maybe even finished before his career has even began. The bottom line is simple. Raja crossed the line. And unless the LAPD steps in soon, fans and fighters alike won't stop demanding justice. To make matters worse, Rampage says his family is now receiving racist death threats after the incident. How you doing, Mr. Jackson? Now that doesn't change the fact, though, that Raja may have just destroyed everything. The WWE has already cut ties with Nox Pro, the wrestling promotion where this went down. The streaming platform kick-banned Raja after the violent live stream went viral. And in one night, he lost everything. And this story went way beyond MMA, NBC, Fox, CBS, and the New York Times all reported on it. Big YouTubers outside of combat sports. Moy is critical, ABBA and Preach, even Mr. Beast reacted. Mr. Beast himself asked how he could donate to Stu's medical bills. That's how massive this has gotten. Now the fallout has been brutal. Reports confirm that Stu suffered broken facial bones, lost several teeth, and even choked on his own blood in the ring. Leaked footage shows wrestlers frantically trying to save him for several minutes. Music and John each other. Music Douglas Malo, one of the wrestlers who rushed to help, later said flat out, "Stu would have died if someone didn't step in."
And first of all, I'm really sorry. We're really sorry about the whole situation.
You know that. I wish I could.
Yeah. I just wanted to see if there was any updates.
All I can say is a lot of racist people give me death threats and stuff like that. Like, I'm a master. Calling me a bad father. It's uncalled for.
That's uncalled for. None of this is your fault. You made your explanation.
Anything I say gets twisted anyway.
Yeah.
Do you think he wanted to continue beating up Stu? I think he would have killed him if you didn't stop it, right? I promise you he would have killed him. I don't give a damn. If you've got a problem with the world and the people around you, then change the people around you. Switch it up a little bit. Go to therapy. Get some help. Talk to someone. Don't take your issues out on everybody else. That's not strength, that's weakness. And then, to top it off, you want to be trained by one of the best fighters to ever live. You're using your father, using his clout, his name, his legacy, his knowledge. That's a blessing that most fighters could only dream of. But instead of honoring it, instead of using that privilege to become something greater, you chose to hurt people who don't even train at that level. You're a bully. Straight up, a coward. You can't call yourself a warrior when your victims are people who aren't prepared for that kind of violence. That's not fighting. That's abuse. But the controversy didn't end with Raja himself. The storm only grew bigger when several wrestlers came forward, claiming that Nox Pro, the promotion tied to this whole mess, actively tried to cover up the incident. Screenshots began circulating online, suggesting that management had told talent to stay quiet, to avoid talking to police, to sweep the entire thing under the rug before it exploded publicly. And that's when the conversation shifted. It was no longer just about Raja Jackson's violent outburst. Now people were asking questions about the culture inside Nox Pro, about what kind of leadership allows something like this to happen, and then allegedly pressures its wrestlers into silence. Fans were outraged, calling it obstruction of justice, calling it corruption, calling it yet another example of power protecting power. What started as one man's terrible decision is now threatening to expose an entire system, one that may have been enabling this kind of behavior for far too long. Meanwhile, Raja and Rampage went live to address the situation. But instead of apologizing, Raja bizarrely blamed the cameraman for filming the incident instead of shutting down the stream. No accountability, no remorse. Then you ruined it. It wasn't my fault. Well, the goddamn cameraman's fault. I know he's watching this. If you watch, how could you? How could you? It's what I expected, though. It's all good. We're going to figure this out. Rampage called his son's actions poor judgment while also pointing out that Raja had suffered a concussion days earlier. But to most people watching, that just sounded like excuses. The seriousness of the situation does not seem to be hitting them. Real stuff right now. I put this on my mind. I promise you. See, they don't want me to be talking all this stuff right now. But guess what? Guess what? Get out your cameras right now. Rampage Jackson. Rampage Jackson. Rampage Jackson. With all due respect, your son came up and disrespected our show, big dog. So, I'm telling you right now, your son came and disrespected our show. If you don't know me, I got barely about like 10 followers online because I'm really not that popping. But today, I'm about to get popping. I'm telling you right now. So it's freeze KP, because that's what it is, right? Nox Pro Entertainment all day, every day. I believe it, bro. I'm telling you right now. As soon as you cut me, it's red and black. Nox Pro. You know who else was built from here? Another person called Jacob Fatu. Yeah, you know that one, right? You see what I'm saying? So I'm telling you right now, listen up. You about to ask the question? I'm gonna tell you right now. Old boy busted my homie up. His son came here and busted my homie up. Psycho Stu. Tap into him too. Guess what? We do what it do over here. And if you got a problem, come check in. Cause we're here all the time. There's a lot of like ignorant people on the internet. I understand that. You know, it is what it is. The botnet don't fake me. Don't bother me. But people like MMA Guru, you know what I'm saying?
That guy. We all know the answer to this between those three. Yeah, we just know. So if you're smart, if you take that fight, like that guy's the bad. Now, not to say that the other guys aren't good, but the problem is, like, Patty is just he promotes, he talks, he's got a very big package, and
let's get the history with Topuria.
Yeah, it just makes sense to make the most money with that fight. But now with this new deal coming forward too,
right?
Does that change the layout of if you care who you fight? Now are you just looking for the better, easier matchup?
Well, and I was gonna say the notion, right? I think this room would probably argue along the line of the betting line that Arman Sarukyan poses the biggest challenge right now of those three for Ilia Topuria, right? But the notion that Patty is just some layup is just a farce, man. It's a complete farce.
I think they're looking at just the style matchup. Like, nobody's saying that. If you're smart, you're not saying Patty's like a layup, but you're saying stylistically, is that a layup comparatively speaking to Arman Sarukyan? That's the question. Not Patty sucks compared to
All right, so what
Arman.
about Gaethje and Patty? I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but if you take Arman,
I don't care. What do you want to know about
well,
that?
He's supposed to be some kind of journalist, and his racism came out. His racism showing, you know what I'm saying? That's brother, dumb animal. Put him in a cage, straight up. Not a human. Not allowed in society. Control yourself, dumb. It's 2025, like, you know what I'm saying? People do people D in this world. Some people up, some people do. It shouldn't get turned into race. Nobody wants to hear a bunch of racist rah about their son, no matter what.
He wanted to continue beating up Stu?
I think he would have killed him.
If you didn't stop it, right?
I promise you he would have killed him. He would have killed me if he would have got the best of me. If he would have took my legs out from under me like he was trying to, he was going to do the same thing to me that he did to Stu. Clearly, you watch the stream when he's walking away. I'm tired of people f***ing with me. I don't care how many times you've been fingered in your life, bro. I don't give a f***. If you got a f***ing problem with the f***ing world and the people around you, change the f***ing people around you. Change it up a little bit. Go to therapy. Get some f***ing help. Don't take it out on everybody else. And then you want to train by one of the best fighters to ever f***ing live, your f***ing father, use his f***ing clout, use his f***ing knowledge, and then you want to hurt people that don't f***ing train like that? You're a f***ing bully. You're a bitch.
Race they are. He must not have kids himself. What did he say? I don't want to repeat what he said, but he said like, he showed it. Racist, basically, what he did. Like, I'm from the South. The stuff he said only racist people say. A lot of racist people came forward and said stuff and DM'd me racist. It don't bother me, because I don't care about racist people. But MMA Guru, he has a platform, yeah. And he should stay neutral, because he's giving his opinions on fights and stuff like that. So now people are going to be watching him when black fighters fight, and this, he say, yikes. You know what I'm saying? MMA Guru was wrong to call Rampage Jackson an animal. What Rampage Jackson did was completely out of pocket, and it would be considered animalistic behavior. However, for Guru to sit there and say, he's an animal, that's simply not true. He's still a human at the end of the day that made a horrible mistake. MMA is simply contributing to the division between white people and black people by calling Rampage Jackson an animal. It comes across as racist. It really does. It's not needed. What Rampage Jackson did is horrible. And yes, he does deserve jail time for that. But the racist remarks towards Rampage, Raja, and their family, they need to stop. You cannot use this situation of Rampage Jackson attacking Psycho Stu as a means of racism. Bad about Psycho Stu and his family. His family had to see that? You know what I'm saying? And you know, all the stuff that went on. I just wish I wish I could have been there, but coaches and fighters are weighing in too. Tim Welch also weighed in, saying, once you start hitting someone who's already out cold, you could kill them, and then you're going to prison. I can't even watch this. The kid's blacked out. And I think his goal right there was to murder. Jackhammer slams him. Jackhammer slams him to the back of this guy's head. Boom. Knocks him out cold. So, this guy who...
What happened to Psycho Stu, you know, I don't condone what my son did at all. You know, I gotta have my son's back, but I'm gonna let justice, you know, play out, take its course. You know, ain't much I can do on that side, but be a father. You know what I'm saying? It put me in like a bad mood. You know what I'm saying? I feel bad about Psycho Stu and his family. His family had to see that shit, you know what I'm saying? And you know, all the stuff that went on. I just wish it was. I just wish I could have been there, but
who's not very fit, first of all, just got slammed gnarly on the back of his head. And the back of the head is what gnaws people up. Hard their brain up, and now he's got a temper. And he gives him another concussion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So about 6 more concussions when he's already shot. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Like what the? He damn near killed the man. I mean, that's crazy. He's got to get some punishment for this. There's just going to be no excuse. He's going to probably go away for a long while, especially on stream. He's on stream and he said, 50-50 subs for a KO. 50 subs. Knock him out. 50 subs. It's crazy the guy didn't die from the slam in general, but then the 10 concussions after. God, that's not good. That is not good. Now, many agree with this, believing that Raja should be arrested. At the same time, not everyone is calling for prison. Sean Strickland, who is known for speaking his mind, argued that Raja doesn't need jail, but rehabilitation. Strickland revealed his own past arrest for felonies as a teenager. If I had gone to prison, he said, I'd probably be dead, and maybe someone else too. Rehabilitation saved my life. For him, prison should always be the last resort, and anger management and restitution might be the better path. Still, the overwhelming opinion from fans, fighters, and media is that Raja should face charges. The fact that the LAPD hasn't acted yet is only fueling the outrage. For many, this isn't just about one violent night. It's about accountability in an era where everything is caught on camera and streamed to the world. So where does this all go? Well, Raja wanted fame. He wanted to step out of his father's shadow and prove himself. Instead, he may have destroyed his future before it even began. Whether it ends in prison, rehabilitation, or something else, one thing is clear. This story is not over. Jack Delmet Elena's next title defense might be in danger. The welterweight champion is expected to face Islam Makhachev. Fans were hoping to see this fight in November at Madison Square Garden, but right now, things are looking uncertain. Matt Elena recently admitted that he's been battling through several injuries. He did not go into detail, but he called them injuries that he's been carrying around for a while. On his Instagram story, he shared a photo of himself wearing an oxygen mask, saying, "Most noticeable changes. Injuries I have been carrying have significantly improved, especially over the last week. Brain clarity and focus." Meanwhile, Makhachev is already deep in training back home in Dagestan. But with the champion admitting that he's not 100% just yet, questions remain. Will he be ready in time? Now, this matchup is one of the most anticipated fights of the year, but health always comes first. If Matt Elena isn't fully healed, the fight could be delayed, and that would shake up the entire welterweight division. Because if Islam Makhachev actually wins and becomes the new welterweight champion, the UFC is already looking at a super fight between Makhachev and Topuria, possibly even on the historic White House fight card. And that is why the MMA world is holding its breath right now. When it comes to Ilia Topuria, the big question right now is, who's next? Arman Tsarukyan has already accepted the fact that he's probably not going to be the next opponent. It is clear the UFC machine is already working behind the scenes. Chael Sonnen even recently claimed that insiders told him it was 99% locked in that Topuria would face Tsarukyan next. But now the conversation is shifting, and Paddy Pimblett's name is being thrown back into the mix. Recently, Chael Sonnen said that Ilia versus Paddy Pimblett is actually a bigger fight than Ilia versus Islam Makhachev right now. Ilia versus Paddy, that fight does a bigger gate right now. Put a belt on Islam, maybe we'll have a different conversation. Former UFC champion Dominic Cruz, in a recent talk with John Anik, shared his thoughts on which fight makes the most sense for Topuria's next move. If you're smart, you're not saying Paddy's like a layup, but you're saying stylistically, is that a layup compared to Arman Tsarukyan? That's the question. Not that Paddy sucks, but compared? All right, so what about Gaethje and Paddy? I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but if you don't care, what do you want to know about? Well, recently Ilia Topuria's manager hinted that Justin Gaethje could be his next opponent at UFC 322. The event is set to take place at Madison Square Garden, with rumors that Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena might also headline the card. I'm